Alright guys, we're getting ready to adjust the torsion on the rear of the Volkswagen here. Before we get started, let me show you just a few, I call them specialty tools. You may or may not have these in your garage. Check it out. Alright, here's the tools you're going to need. This is a Volkswagen tool. It gets the rear nut off that holds your drum on, rear brake drum. You can get it off without this, but usually those are pretty tight. They're usually pretty tight, and that's just a helper. You can put a breaker bar in here to get a little more leverage or whatever, torque, whatever you want to call it. Plus you have this side here you can hammer on that to break it loose, kind of like an impact effect. This is your pitch and angle locator. I'll show you what this does in a minute, what we use that for. And this is what the torsion plate coming to the rear of the vehicle, that's what you're going to be letting that tension off with. Okay guys, I got the tire off of it, and I got the normally there's a cotter pin, a big cotter pin that you're going to put through the axle and through that nut. Somebody had a piece of coat hanger through this one. Okay, what you want to do, a lot of times, I've already got this loose for demonstration purposes, but normally this is very, very tight, got a lot of torque on it. A lot of times it's best if you leave the car on the ground and then try to do this, because it's very, very tight. I've had to heat these. I've had to put a breaker bar on here, put a lot of torque on it, and then hit it, or whatever. But be prepared for that. Normally they're very tight. With mine, I like to put, when I put it back together, I like to put anti-seize. Make sure this is all clean, the axle's good and clean. Put anti-seize on them, because they, where they're exposed to the weather, they rust, and it can be a real chore to get those off. Pull our brake drum off. What we've got to do, we're going to be taking a lot loose on here, and what we want to do is to we got to get the emergency brake cable free back here. We got to get the shock off of it. Then we're able to swing it back out of the way. With the shock and the emergency brake cable, it's going to keep it from swinging back far enough out of the way. So that's what we're going to be doing. Alright folks, for those of you who aren't familiar with the process, to get the emergency brake cable loose, the end of it here, you can just pull this back, okay, and get the end of the cable off. Now we need to get it through the backing plate. Alright guys, this is pretty straightforward. There's just where the cable goes through, it's just this. It's a little rubber piece here that goes through the back plate. Once you get that freed up, you can just pull the rest through. Guys, I've spent a little time cleaning up these threads. I'm going to get some PB Blaster on those. They're just really rusted. A lot of old caked on rust and mud and dirt, whatever. And here you can see I've taken my angle grinder, and I've got the wire wheel on it here. You need to mark this. I marked it, or I cleaned it, and then I took this angled pick and I've scribed that. And I'm also going to take a Sharpie and I'm going to mark that right up against there. This is, you need to do that. That's your rear wheel alignment there. You want to go, if you're in alignment, you want to go right back where you were. I would highly recommend that you do that. You don't want to screw up your alignment. If you get that back where it's supposed to go, you don't have to worry about having this thing lined up. I've been cleaning out around here. We had the undercoating and stuff all over these bolts, and what we've got to do is get our tool out and start taking this spring pressure off this arm right here. Okay, now a lot of your other vehicles besides this bus is going to have a hole, okay, to where you can put a bolt, leave the head sticking up, and hang that over top of it. We've got to do that a little different with this. I don't have a hole to where I can put the a bolt in it, you know, to get that hanger in place, you know, to where I can just hang it on there and it stay put. So we'll have to do this van just a little bit different than you're going to do, say, a car or another Volkswagen. Alright guys, this is the part I'm just going to urge you to be very careful. There's a lot of spring pressure on this. I got, you can see that I've got it where I didn't have any place to put that over, no bolt or anything like that. I put it right up in this bracket, and I took a C-clamp and I clamped it back using the frame. I'm not recommending that you do it that way. That's what I had to deal with myself. There's nothing really, no other way I could really do this. I've got pressure on it. You can see, here's your stop. I've got pressure on this spring. What that did, that takes the pressure off of this. What I can do now is start taking these bolts out. I got 2 here, and there are 2 more here. One at the top there, and then one going in through here. I can get those bolts out and swing this out of the way, okay? After I do that, after I have that out of the way, I can put, you can use a screwdriver to bring this plate back away from the stop, or a chisel, whatever you feel comfortable with. After that gets clear, you can take this off, you know, take your cap off, or loosen it rather, loosen it, and drop that down and get all the pressure off that torsion arm. So we're going to take care of it now. Well guys, it's not always easy. Nobody said it would be. What I'm doing, I gotta heat this. I cannot get this nut off here, so I'm going to continue heating it, and hopefully I'll get it warm enough here in just a few seconds and get this last one off. I want to show you the alignment here before I forget. See how you've got these oblong holes? That's where your rear wheel alignment comes in. That's why we scribed it off, and then I took the marker and got it marked out really well. I forgot to tell you, when you swing this back, there's a little grommet that goes here that your brake line fits into. You need to take that loose. I didn't move this back any further than I had to. What I need to do now is I want to get some tie wire and get this wired up out of the way so I can get some work done here. Alright guys, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, and I'll leave that alone. Be very careful when you're doing this. There's a lot of tension on here. I went ahead just for safety's sake and took a floor jack and put under the end of this plate right here. Okay, what we got to do now, I'm going to take these bolts loose but not all the way off. Okay, and I've got to take a chisel and drive this plate back a little bit off the stop here, and then after I get that clear, I'm going to start taking the pressure off this guy. So okay guys, I'm taking the pressure off of it now. I just took this pry bar, and you can use whatever you want. That's what I'm using, so it'll slide past the stop when it comes down. And we've got the plate loose here. It covers the torsion housing. You've got that loose, and I'm just alternating pressure, easing off the jack and taking a little bit off this the tool that I showed you, torsion adjustment tool, taking a little bit of pressure each time, just lowering it down. So just be careful when you're doing it. I just kept easing it off, and I got all the tension released. This is the cover, and it's got this big old rubber bushing in here that goes over top of all of this. Okay, got that. Let me get my bushing back. Okay, we got everything loose. What I did, I took a Sharpie, the silver Sharpie, and I marked this at my original my original setting. This guy didn't have hardly any tension on it. That's it. The torsion bars, you know, these are what is 72 model van, so you can do the math. It's what's that, 38 years. Anyway, there lots and lots of wear on those guys over the years, and they just lost a little bit of their spring, their twist rather. Anyway, I want to show you what we do here with this. Okay, you set this on here, and it's going to tell you how many degrees you're setting at right now. Okay, I don't know if I'm focusing in. It's dark out, and I've got that fluorescent light on there. I'm looking at about 21 degrees here. Okay, that is my original setting. I also marked it here, got me another reference point. What we want to do, these are roughly 8 degrees per tooth, depending on what you're moving, the inside or the outside. They're a little different. There is a right and a left, of course, with the twist. So there's your factory mark right there. 21 degrees, so if we go 2 times, that's 16 degrees we need to go. That's what tells us. I'm going 2 times. You know, I guess depends really on the amount of strength left in your torsion bar. I'm going 2 teeth on this. Roughly, they say, you know, and this is just a guesstimate because it's going to depend on the condition of your torsion bar. 1 tooth will give you 1 inch of raise in it. Okay, I need about 2 inches to get where I need to be able to, if I'm hauling things in my van, I don't want it squatting down again. So I'm going to go 2 teeth on this, and that should get me a little bit past level. So I'm going to go ahead and work with this a little bit, and I'll catch up with you guys in the morning. I'm just about to quit here.